My koti pranams to the lotus feet of our dear beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Can we please have some silence? I'm just about to recite the Ganesh prayer. Vakratunda Mahakarya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvigram Guru Me Deva Sarvakarya Shu Sarvada Sarvakarya Shu Sarvada. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated and please ensure that all mobile phones are switched off, and if not switched off, then please put them on silent to avoid any disturbance during our talk. Thank you very much. I would like to call upon Mr. and Mrs. Kuldeep Bara to accompany Professor Anil Kumar and Mrs. Vijaya Lakshmi Kumar to light the lamps, followed by their presence on the dais. Oh my God.
Not there, here. But they want to see you.
So humbly requested. Everybody, let's have a round of applause so Mr. Kuldeep Bara can come. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the Chairman, the Managing Committee, and the devotees of the Sai Center, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you who have taken time out to join us and be blessed by the humble talks that Professor Anil Kumar is going to give us. Thank you very much. Thank you all. If today's session is going to be anything like yesterday's session was, we're in for a real treat. Because yesterday was inspiring, enlightening, and just full of amazing vibes. So without any further ado, I would like to call upon Professor Anil Kumar, or you can talk from there.
Oh, that's all?
That's all. Thank you.
Get me some water.
Sure.
Oh, here you go. Thank you very much for being here this evening. in spite of torrential rain and heavy traffic. These two are really challenging, but yet you could be here, which reflects your intensity of your devotion. May Bhagavan bless you, be with you forever and evermore. Thank you, sir. Somehow you had to pay heed to the requests of the entire audience, which speaks of their admiration for you. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am, to be here. Pardon? Perfect. The Kenyan devotion. Kenyan devotion, if such great height, that helped me to recover within a record time. Thank you. The day before yesterday night, when we were to leave Masai Mara, I was in a very bad shape. I felt the presence of joints only then. Joints started telling me, we are here, be careful. So, they rebelled, they revolted. They said, enough is enough, lie down. Somehow, I got down from the aircraft, but with one prayer to Swami, from the bottom of my heart. Swami, you give me any pain, it may be a gain to me. But let not your program be interfered with. Let not the discourses be discontinued. Let not the devotees be disappointed. That was my constant prayer, not for my relief. Please believe me. And it was Mr. Samba Shivarao who was poetic in his description. His poetry or poetic sentiment or sentimental poetry crossed the border. How imaginative he is when he said, Swami promised to visit Kenya, and had he visited Kenya, he has to appear here on a wheelchair, so his ambassador must necessarily come on wheelchair. See, that is positive way of thinking. That also made me feel quite happy. Oh, Swami, okay. You want me to imitate you? Okay. And surprisingly enough, after reaching here, just right from the aircraft, ladies assembled there who were doing bhajan since the morning, patiently waiting. I don't know whether they could hear me or not. Video of Anil Kumar is all right. Audio was horrible. Yet they could bear with me. Yesterday evening, one girl came to me closer and said, Uncle, I can't see you like this on a wheelchair. But today, yes, come on, we'll run, okay? Thanks, Swami. Really, my friends, when I'm told the topic for discussion, the theme of my talk is the purpose of life. Am I right, sir? Purpose of life. It is a question that we have to put to ourselves every day. Because purpose of life will not remain all the same. In childhood, what was the purpose of life? To play with toys. Later in high school, college days, what was the purpose of life? Studies, standing first, sports. Then university, what is the purpose of life? Romantic. And to get into some job, trying to settle. After that, career. What is the purpose of life? Get promotions, get more increments, position, authority, pomp, show, name, fame, accommodation, prestige, dignity, scholarship, knowledgeability, respect. All these are targets. After retirement, what is the purpose of life? I was joking yesterday. I was romantic at one time. Only spelling difference. Therefore, my friends, after retirement, what is the purpose of life? We find the life being heavy. So many people say, how are you? Pulling on. How are you? Chalta hai. How are you? As usual. How are you? Waiting for the end. My friends, since we have not realized the purpose of life, throughout, the question has to be put every day. Because the purpose has been changing from age to age, from stage to stage. So at this stage, what is the purpose of life? Only one sentence answer. What is the purpose of life? To find God? Nonsense. To find God is the purpose of life? He is everywhere. When God is everywhere, when God's presence is felt everywhere, in the beautiful nature of Kenya, in the beautiful wildlife of Kenya, if you say that my purpose of life is to find God, you are a fool, number one. God is nature. God is life. So when God is life, then what is the purpose behind it? When God is nature, why do you say my purpose is to know Him? So answer is not correct. Purpose of life is to know God. Is not correct. Because everything is God. Life is God. Nature is God. Creation is God. Then what is the purpose? It is purposeless question. Then some may say, well, my purpose of life is to occupy high position. Very high position. Just a simple anecdote, which is real. Rao over there, chairman of Sai Center there, Kuldeep ji on the dais, can stop me when you want me to stop. Because I get inspired by you. When I see your inquisitive faces, I feel like sharing my experiences. What is the purpose of life? Some say position. It's not. Swami visited Delhi. I followed him. Something like a rat that follows Ganesha. Many people say, Anil Kumar, we saw you with Swami. My answer is, you cannot avoid rat when you go to Ganesha. I don't feel myself in a separate class of an individual. It is all His grace. So we went to Delhi. We were the guests of Kulwant Roy. And I love dress from my childhood. Because I believe dress is the discipline of life. Dress is the respect you have for others. Dress is the recognition of the event that you attach. So I love it. So that morning, when Swami was about to go to one meeting, I brought one new suit, a waltine color. I was standing in front of the mirror and putting my hook there. And that being new suit, the hook is not fitting in properly. I look behind, I see Baba there. Makeup. Very good makeup. Somehow I took the help of a boy and got the hook done and followed Swami. Translate his talks. But this doubt went on lingering in my mind. Makeup. Is it appreciation? Condemnation? Admonition? Sarcastic? Ironical? What it meant? How to ask him? Simply I came down. After lunch, I was just resting. Swami has gone up already. Suddenly he called, Anil, Anil, come on. I went there. Ran and went there. Important guests were around him. Then Swami said, Anil Kumar, how do you like my talks? Swami, your talks? Marvelous. Matchless. Second to none. Tell me a few points you like. Viva, spiritual viva. So I gave him some points which I liked. I repeated. Good. Then I understood Swami is in a good mood. Then put it across, I said. Swami, cabinet ministers came for your darshan this morning. They're all devotees now. How was Jaswant Sinha? Oh, Jaswant, ICS officer. Pakka, tip-top. How was Yaswant Sinha? IAS officer, top minister. So I was asking ministers, at that time, NDA was ruling the government. And these are people who are very well dressed. And Swami was telling, top. Then I said, Swami, when these fellows who come to power after election for 5 years, later they go back. But how about a man who stands by your side? Should I not be tip-top? Baba said, yes, you should always be like this. Then he said, is the only suit you brought? No, Swami, suitcase full there. Since then onwards, in the whole of Prashantalayam, you will find me only wearing colored dress. Because I have divine license. Or else how dare you wear? Come on, you try. Why I am telling this episode is, I considered to be with God, to be close to God, to be able to talk to God, to be able to joke with Him, to be able to be near Him, to enjoy His divine presence is the position in life, nothing else. So the position that is the purpose of life, the true position is to be conscious of God, to be aware of God, not the worldly positions. One example Swami gave. There seems two are traveling, and one fellow was walking with a pillow below his shoulder. One fellow on the horseback. And others thought the fellow who was carrying the pillow must be a servant. A man on the back of the horse is the master. Then rain started like this evening. What happened? The fellow with the pillow went into the temple, kept the pillow under his head, sat there. He lay down. The fellow on the horse got down, tied up the horse to a nearby tree, sat under the horse so that it will not run away, others will not see. Now who is the master? Fellow with the pillow is the master. The fellow who is sleeping under the horse is the servant. Positions are like that. They come and go. But there is one permanent position. The permanent, eternal, immortal, pristine, pure position is with God, in God. Second, what is the purpose of life? Some say scholarship, knowledge. Certainly not. DVDs are great scholars. Google, you can give 10 PhDs, 100 PhDs. So scholarship is Google scholarship. DVD scholarship. Knowledge is not that important. There are many people who are knowledgeable. Knowledge is not the purpose of life. But wisdom is important. Wisdom and knowledge are different. Knowledge is taught. Wisdom, you are born with it. Knowledge is from your teacher. Wisdom is intuitive. Knowledge is gained. Wisdom is from God, natural. Knowledge goes on changing from time to time, like science. It goes on changing. Wisdom remains changeless. Knowledge makes you respectable. Wisdom makes you a wise man. So the purpose of life is not knowledge, wisdom. What is wisdom? Here I keep sand and sugar mixed. Sand and sugar. Ant will come, catch the sugar and not the sand. Why? Ant is not an MSc. Ant is not Dr. Ant with a PhD. Ant has got a wisdom to know what is a sand particle, what is a sugar particle. That is wisdom. A newborn calf will go to the udder of the mother cow to draw the milk. It will not go to the tail. Milk is not from the tail. Milk is from the udder of the cow. Why? Wisdom. In these days of plastic culture, flowers are plastic and smiles are also plastic. There is no natural smile. People go on smiling unnecessarily. We don't know why. Our life has become artificial. They are not natural. And some of the artificial flowers are more beautiful than the natural flowers. Some of the cloth showrooms, particularly saris and all that, they keep some statues there, girls like that. most beautiful. But which man will marry that girl? Beautiful, come on. Nice measurements. Miss Universe. Come on, marry, please. So the flowers are plastic, more beautiful than real flowers. But honey bee will go to a natural flower only, but not to an artificial flower. He's not doctorate, he's not PhD, he's not a professor. Wisdom. So my friends, wisdom is intuitive. Wisdom is natural. Wisdom is spontaneous. Wisdom is divine. So, the purpose of life, to keep that wisdom, to be a man of wisdom, not a man of scholarship and knowledge. No use. Knowledge, as Baba calls it, knowledge is allergy. Knowledge is allergy. Because it makes you arrogant. Some people say, I am PhD, so what? There are millions of PhDs. So what? When knowledge makes you headstrong, egoistic, that knowledge is useless. Why? The end of knowledge is love. The end of knowledge is love. The end of knowledge is not ego. The end of knowledge is not pride. The end of knowledge is love. Then what is wisdom? What is the end of wisdom? The end of wisdom is freedom. The end of wisdom is freedom. My friends, what all I am sharing with you, they are from Sai literature only. Do not credit me for these beautiful words. Anil Kumar is not capable of that still. The end of wisdom is freedom. Yes? India is free. Kenya is free. America is free. Country is free. But individuals are not free. Country is free. But you are not free. I am not free. Why? You and I are not free from anger. You and I are not free from jealousy. We are not free from pride. We are not free from desire. We are not free from ego. Then how do you say you are a free man? You are not free. Unknowingly, unconsciously, you are a slave. Publicly, I am a free. Nonsense. It's not true. So the end of wisdom is freedom. Freedom from basic weaknesses of man. Basic drawbacks of man. Pitfalls, bottlenecks of man, includes woman also, is the true freedom. That's the purpose of life. So the purpose of life is not merely position, is not merely knowledge. Then purpose of life, wealth, property, yes, why not? But as Baba says, money will make you luxurious. Money will help you to be extravagant. Money will help you to be rich, comfortable. But can you buy sleep? Please. How many dollars to buy sleep? Impossible. Appetite or hunger. How much it costs? No. For sickness, what is the price you have to pay to be free, to be cured? Doctor's bill is not enough. Much more than that. Therefore, my friends, It is not the money which is the purpose of life. The purpose of life is the way how you make use of money. Please understand. Baba's devotees are not beggars. Religious people are not beggars. Spiritual people are not beggars. Even if they are rich, they know how to make use of their money. Money is God, for information. Money is God, Lakshmi. You cannot misuse Lakshmi. That's why Baba says, misuse of money is evil. Misuse of money is evil. Money makes many things and many wrong things. That's what Baba says. Money may come and go, but morality comes and goes. So money is important, but how to make use of the money is much more important. Baba gives this example. When we ask Swami, I think rich people are not religious. Baba tells immediately, you are wrong. Rich people are spiritual because richness lies in the way you spend it. Baba gives an example. You have a knife. With this knife, you cut the fruits. With the same knife, you cut the throat. What is the wrong with the knife? Nothing wrong. Then it is your mistake. You are making use of the knife to cut the throat. It is your mistake. Use it to cut the fruit. That is the proper purpose. So nothing wrong with the mind. The way how you use it. That's why Sathya Baba is divine. Then what is the purpose of life? Not position, not scholarship, not money. You know, this example Baba gives quite often. Alexander the Great was almost near his end. Almost near. He called everybody. I want 5 minutes of extension of my life. Anybody? Anybody? Nobody could give guarantee of 5 minutes extension. All scholars, astrologers, palmists, all stupids, he asked. Finally he said, I'll give half of my kingdom. Who can extend my life by 5 minutes? Nobody. And finally said, in disgust, total vexation, frustration, I'll give whole of my kingdom. Who can extend 5 minutes? Nobody. Then Alexander said, come on. When I leave this body, take my body along the street with my hands stretched like that, so that the whole world will know that I came with empty hand and I go back with empty hand. That is my message to my people, said Alexander the Great. So the purpose of life is to know the value of what we have. Then some people say, purpose of life is a renunciation or vairagya, not to get married, to remain a yogi. I don't know whether it's purposeless or not, but it's a hopeless proposal, I know. Why? Those who are not married, they are attached to their properties. They are attached to their tables and offices. And some of the spiritual people attached to their ashrams, more attached. Married people, after all, they are attached to their counterparts, Husband is attached to wife, wife is attached to husband. It's better. Better to be attached to a living person than dead tables and dead nails. Then what do you mean by not getting married, vairagya, renunciation? What do you mean? My friends, please listen to me. These are the words of Baba. Vairagya is not to remain a bachelor. Vairagya is not to remain unmarried. Vairagya is to be free from ego. That is truest, most correct vairagya. If I-ness, I. There are many people who say, I did it. Shut up, what you did it. I. That should be renounced. That is true vairagya. The purpose of life is to renounce, to give up, to abandon, to do away with, to get rid of the sense of mine, thine, ego. It is the dog's nature. Ego is the dog, best symbol. Because one dog is here. If another dog comes, why? It doesn't tolerate another dog. So those who are egoistic must have been dogs in the previous life. Because they cannot tolerate others. What are you? And Swami gives the example of a buffalo also. Take a stick and beat it. It will say, hum, I. Remove the nerves of the buffalo. Make it into the strings of a violin. Come on, play on that. Tum, tum, tum. Strings will say tum. Buffalo will say arrogance. So the true renunciation is to give up this sense of ego. That is the purpose of life. The purpose of life, when we think actually, is rather a silly question. If you ask a rose flower, which is most beautiful, what is the purpose of life? It will laugh at your foolishness. If you ask the lion, what is the purpose of life? It will look at you seriously. If you put the question again, it will swallow you. Purpose of life in one sense is a meaningless question. Life is purposeless. Life is goalless. Life is pathless. Why? Life is life. For youngsters, wife is life. That's a different matter. Because some boys, Swami jokes with them. When do you marry? No, son. That girl is waiting. When are you married? Swami. Yeah. Your wife is in your pocket, I know. After getting married, no, Swami. Life is wife, wife is life. But when wife becomes knife, then you'll come to me. So, my friends, the purpose of life as we go, understand deeply, is to just enjoy life. Enjoy life. Purpose is futuristic. What is the purpose of life? I want to become. I want to be. Purpose has time and space. Purpose is an ambition. Purpose is future. Purpose is a dream. Purpose is a wonder. It is awesome. That is not life. is life? Life is here now. Life is here now. Live in the moment. Live in the present. Yes, life in Kenya, Nairobi, in Sai Center, in this community hall, at this moment, this is life. This is life. So life is to be in the present, not the future, not the past. There are some people who go on saying, 25 years ago, I was in charge of the whole district. No, you are not. Why do you speak of it? Some people say, 10 years, I was the boss of this office. No, you are not. So the fellow who lives in the past is history. If there are some people who say, I will become that, or I will that, it is mystery. Future is mystery, past is history, present is the reality. Present is the reality. So the purpose of life, the so-called purpose, is to know the reality that it lies, life in the present. Life in the present, wonderful, fantastic. Most of us don't live in the present, am I not right? Most of us don't live. Why? Our faces will tell whether we are living in the present or not. Serious faces, castor oil faces, dim faces, sorrowful faces, Shakespeare faces. Why? They are worried of the other colleagues in the office, pending work for tomorrow. Now they are serious. Some people return home shouting at the wife. Why? He was shouted at by his lectures, talks with bombastic words, flowery language, artificial. Baba's language is so simple. Baba's language is so sweet. Baba's language is so straight, sweet, and simple. Whereas we consider those people great who use words which are not known to the speaker himself. Like Veda chanting. Many people chant Veda. Ask them the meaning, they don't know. They don't know. Even priests do not know what to do. As a profession they have learnt, that's all. Therefore, the purpose of life is to be calm and balanced in life. I'm tempted to quote Swami in Telugu, but I apologize to you, since you do not know what am I to do. Pogattalaku pongaka. You should not be elated, jubilant, rejoicing in praise. Nindalaku krungaka. Depressed, frustrated, disappointed because of the blame. Pogattalaku pongaka, nindalaku krungaka. You should not be affected by praise or blame. Longaka, vongaka. Don't bend yourself. Don't submit yourself to these praises and blame. Rise above. Because praise and blame depend upon our temporary relationship. Wife and husband, no complaints in the honeymoon period. Wonderful. Whatever nonsense she prepares without salt, to the husband, ambrosia, elixir, amrita. After 2 children are born, or 1 child, the husband will ask, do you have brains? There is no salt there. Difference of time. Baba gives this example. Husband and wife, newly married, went for a walk in the evening around the public gardens. Wow. And husband saw a thorn on the way. Shouted, honey, 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 honey. There is a thorn. It will pinch your rosy feet. It will hurt you. It will bleed you heavily. I can't bear the pain, my darling. Is God feeling very happy? Aha. For 1,000 lives I cannot get such a husband. Then 6 months passed. They were going for a walk again. They saw the thorn this time. Husband said, be careful as you walk. 50% gone. After 1 year, they are walking with the child. This time they saw the thorn. Husband shouted, what happened to your eyes? Can't you walk properly? Half of the time, half of the money I have to spend for my medical bills. Chuck. Just 1 year difference. After all, my friends, what is there in a praise? What is there in a blame? That depends upon our relationships at that point of time. Baba gives another example. We are friends. I throw a rose flower at you. What will you say? Anil Kumar has full appreciation, adoration, respect for me. Wow, he has thrown rose flower at me. After 6 months, there's some difference of opinion between us. We are not seeing eye to eye each other. I throw a flower at you. Now what do you say? He has thrown at me the rose flower so that the thorn will pinch me. He knows that I am diabetic, that injury will not heal, that the whole hand will become septic, that my hand has to be removed, amputated. Therefore he has shown me the rose flower. At one time, adoration. Today, condemnation. That's all. Have I given any time for myself? No. What do you mean by time for me? A period of silence. Let me be silent. Let me withdraw my mind. Let me not think of my becoming nonsense. Let me live in my being right now. Let me not think of my body, my mind any longer. Let me think of my consciousness. Let me think of my spirit, of my soul, of my consciousness. Let me not think of my body, senses anymore. That is the time for you. The time you spend for yourself is the real valuable time in our life. That is called meditation. Meditation is the time that you spend for yourself inward, thinking of your being, not becoming. You enjoy the state of bliss. The purpose of life is that. Mind is the cause for pleasure and pain. To withdraw the mind. To withdraw the mind is the purpose of life. How to withdraw the mind? Close your eyes. Think of God. Watch your breath. When watch your breath, speed of thoughts will be slowed down. When speed of the thoughts slows down, you will be focused. Then you have peace of mind. That is what is called meditation. That's why Jesus said, heaven is within you. Enjoy that heaven. My friends, I can go on like this, on and on and on, because it is a subject of life. It is not an object for discussion. It is not a topic for an oration. It is not a topic for a talk. It is a thought of life. It is our breath. It is our being, which is endless. I am happy for listening to my talk in rapt attention. To sum up finally, the purpose of life is to enjoy life, to live life, to smile, to be blissful, sing, laugh, dance, enjoy life. Never be serious. Be with God. True happiness lies in being with God. May God bless you. Thank you very much. I think questions, if they have. I don't know when you wish to call for it.
We do have questions lined up for you.
Okay.
Brother Surah, you have a question to ask?
Sai Ramon, brother, you probably have already answered more than answered my question, but since it had come to mind, I will ask it nevertheless. All scriptures appear to point towards the purpose of life, one of the purposes of life being to discover one's innate divinity. And indeed, if I'm not wrong, in Swami's words, one of the key objectives of being in the Sai organization is of discovering one's innate divinity. Now my question is, how does one achieve, first of all, remain on this objective and achieve some success given the complexities in life? Given your years of interaction, very close interaction with Swami, what's the best attitude that devotees can adopt, and how should they conduct themselves on this path? Sairam.
What a wow. You are the practical man, the Kenyan brain. Good. To find out God, to discover God, these are the words which have no meaning. Why? God is in you. God is in you, within you, above you, below you, around you. God is the only reality. So, I don't find God means you are blind. The beautiful nature, it is God. The beautiful life is God. Good family, it is God. Healthy life, it is God. Everything is God. Meaning, awareness of the divinity in life is the purpose of life. Awareness of the divinity. It is already there, but we should be aware. Number 2, Sai organization purpose is a chance to work together. Is an opportunity to work together. It is a blessing to work with a common purpose and objective. To learn from each other, to share with each other, to enjoy together. Sai organization to encourage each other, to inspire each other, to motivate each other, to travel together in perfect unity, purity, and divinity. That is organization. To share love. My friends, I openly declare, if anybody says no, I'm ready. Sir, in Sai organization, the love, affections, intimacy, intimate moments are ties are stronger than blood relationship. If I don't see a devotee for 1 week, what happened here? What happened? Relatives will not say that. It's good if you don't show your face for 6 months. If anybody falls sick, it is Sai devotee who attends on you immediately. No relative, because he has to stay back, cancelling all his appointments. Sai bondage is stronger than blood relationship. Sai organization is love in action. Sai bondage is a spiritual training, sadhana, spiritual practice. The attitude devotees we should have is, everything we should take it as gift of God. Come what may. Come what may. It is gift of God. I told you in the beginning, some people are late to this meeting because of the rain and traffic, I know. Mr. Sambasya Rao said, while I was on wheelchair yesterday, he said, it's a correct thing, he said. When I'm in a wheelchair, how can they be correct thing? He said, Baba promised that he will visit Kenya thrice. Had he visited, he would have come on a wheelchair only. So since you have come on a wheelchair, Baba has come on a wheelchair. That is the attitude of a devotee. Instead of saying, we are sorry, Anil Kumar, you have joint pains, you are on a wheelchair, that will make me more sad and burdensome. Spiritualize it. Very good. This is good for me. Is correct attitude that a devotee should have. Thank you for your thought-provoking question.
Thank you. Brother Suresh Pacheta.
Brother Anil Kumar, we welcome you here, and it is indeed our pleasure, the bliss we saw this evening by the fantastic words you have been saying.
Sir, questions are not appreciation.
Coming. We are always saying we are devotees of Bhagwan. After a while we see there are no devotees, they have disappeared. My question is, who is a devotee of Bhagwan? And what are the qualities of this devotee?
Good question. He is asking our fundamental qualifications. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This question has come because most of the devotees don't behave as devotees are expected to. So, your question sets a guideline how to be a devotee. Anil Kumar need not put it in his style. Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the chapter where the qualities of a devotee are mentioned. More than 30. But I am not going to list all the 30 and take 30 minutes more. No. I'll sum up. The first quality of a devotee is love. I love you if you make me convener of Sai Center. I love you if I make me president. Love, unconditional. First quality of a devotee. Second quality, faith, unshakable, strong faith. Unshakable. Why? If things are favorable, Baba is God. If things are not favorable, is he on vacation or what? Has he forgotten me or what? Therefore, unshakable, bumps and jumps, lashes and slashes, downs or ups. Unshakable faith. Love, faith. And third, service-mindedness. Service. Why do I serve you? Not to receive your applause, not to receive your praises, not to listen to the claps. Nonsense. Why do I serve you? I am serving myself. What? Yes. Why? God in me is very same God in you. There's nothing like Kenyan God, American God, Indian God. There's nothing like man God and woman God. Nothing like professor God, doctor God, businessman God. Same God in everyone. So when I am serving you, I am serving God in you. The same God in me. So service to others is service to yourself. This is the quality of a devotee. 4, not to be egoistic. No ego. If you have ego, you have no place in spirituality or religion. Because he is responsible. He made me this. He made me do this. He made me achieve this. He. Not I. No. So there are 3 steps here. I to we to he. I, individual. We, Sai organization. He, divinity. 3 steps. I to we to he is the journey. Frankfurt, stopover. From Bombay to New York. Bombay, I. Frankfurt, we. New York, divinity. Or you can say Dubai and Kenya. So, the service-mindedness. Absence of ego, egolessness. Oh, ego, you go out of me, we should say that. 4, non-competitiveness. We should not compete. No, Kuldeep Singh Ji is doing more work than me. Is it Olympic champion or running race or what? He is doing what he can. What God decides. I appreciate him. I take him as my hero, as my role model. But I'm happy that God is allowing me to do this much. I'm happy. So no competition. Very important. No comparison. You are great in your own way. You will sing, I will dance. You sing and dance, I dance. There is another fellow who can speak. So all are great. Non-competition, non-comparison is quality of a devotee. Total surrender to God is a quality of a devotee. This is summary of the qualities of devotees taken from Bhakti Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you.
Thank you. Brother Bharat, kindly stand up so we can have the mic to you.
I've raised today. Forgive me, but my question is a bit long, and allow me to stitch together some of your ideas, and I want to see at the end if you agree with my slightly different angle at looking at things. You correctly mentioned that, yes, one of the purposes of life is to be happy. However, I do wonder whether just leaving it at that would make someone a very passive human, meaning if you're happy with the way your life is, you don't strive to become better and to make your life better and more fulfilling. You also mentioned the difference between wisdom and knowledge. I believe what made someone wise 50 years ago is different to what makes someone wise now. And I believe that's because there's been a huge expansion in what we know about the world around us. And that's because of the knowledge we have of the world and the universe. I believe that applying that knowledge to making this world a better place, because now we know there's many pressing problems in the world, such as poverty, climate change, etc., water shortage, and so on and so forth. And I believe if you apply this knowledge to make the world a better place, you could be happy. So my question is, and I wonder whether you agree, that the purpose of life could be defined as being happy in applying your knowledge to making this world a better place for the people now and for the people to come.
Wow! Why don't you clap, I say? Wow! That is the kind of man I want. To pull my collar and question me. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful question. I appreciate you. Because it helps me to go deep and deeper into the subject. To be happy, if I'm just happy, there's no competition in life. If I'm simply happy, life is not going to be adventurous. If I'm simply happy, I'm not going to be better as a professional, better quality of life. Yes, you are correct. It is material view of life. It is only material view of life, but not the total life. Total life includes that which is material, that which is spiritual. Spiritual is the root, material is the fruit of the tree of life. Tree needs the root and the fruit. If there is only root without a fruit, useless. And a tree without fruit is a firewood. There cannot be fruit without the root. So the spiritual and the material should go together. Knowledge is the root, wisdom is the fruit. Wisdom will help you how to make use of your knowledge. Simple example. It was Einstein who felt very sad when all his adventurous knowledge is put to use for the destruction of mankind. When your knowledge is used for the destruction of mankind, it means you have knowledge, but you have no wisdom. If your knowledge helps you to be corrupt, helps you to be an excellent, ideal black marketeer, totally selfish man, you have knowledge, but you have no wisdom to share your knowledge with others. So knowledge is a raw material, wisdom is a polished material. Knowledge is a raw gold, wisdom is a jewel. Both are necessary. Without gold you cannot make a jewel. Raw gold you don't put around your neck. So, I mean both are necessary. And your second question was knowledge and wisdom, and second, what is your second question, sir? Happiness, I said already. But he has put another question also. Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, my question was very long, but I think you have answered my question very well already, so thank you for that. But yes, my point was, certainly, yes, you've addressed knowledge and wisdom But what makes us happy as individual people is different. What will make him happy may be, for example, the car that he has, or he has 2 kids.
Got it.
But I believe if someone is just happy in their life in that sense, you don't strive to make yourself and people around you better.
Yeah, I think I answered the first part. I think I answered the first part. Okay, sir? I answered the first part. Now I come to the second part. Let us understand, happiness is not totally individual. It is not totally individualistic. Happiness is societal. Simple example is an example given by Baba. It seems one saintly man was passing by a pond. A cow has drowned itself in that pond. It's struggling. All people noticed and they were leaving. But the saintly man helped the cow to come out of that pond. He saved its life. Some modern man like me are a fool. Don't you have any work to save buffaloes and cows from ponds? Do your work. Do you know what he said? By making that cow suffering happy, I am happy. I am happy by making others happy. Because my happiness depends on us to go home. Another patient is asked to get himself operated. The fellow who goes home with a tablet should not think he is lucky he is operated. Do you think like that? How lucky he is. He went into the theater, got doctor operated him. He is the most unlucky fellow. So doctor knows what to give, whom to give, when to give. So more patients among men. Men stand for brain. Man stands for brain. Woman stands for heart. So the heart is receptive to respond. This fellow, yes or no, to be or not to be, so be. He needs treatment. Your heart is fine. You don't need Dr. Sathya Baba, cardiologist, to treat you. Then another reason, girls or women, when once they believe, when once they have faith, by birth, their faith is very strong by birth. Man, better I not say, as I am also a man. Our love and our faith is not as strong, as deep, as permanent as a woman. What would it? I don't get anything by praising you. You don't give me any commission also. It is a fact. Baba gives the example of Kuchela. Kuchela is the classmate of Krishna. Kuchela played together. Krishna became the king, Kuchela the beggar, with many children. His wife tells him, why do you want to go to Krishna? Ask for some money. Kuchela says, no, I won't go. Today he is a king, whether he recognizes me or not. Today he is in a high position, I am not. His wife says, do you think Krishna is like that? No, go. She pestered him, bothered him, forced him to go to Krishna. This fellow goes there with torn clothes, with beaten, parched, dry rice, packed in a rotten cloth, body dusty, not neat. He moves in front of the palace. When Swami describes this episode, my friends, believe me, you will all cry. You will all cry. He describes in such a dramatic way. This fellow was loitering. And those soldiers said, get out. You're a beggar. You cannot get in the palace. Just as Sevadal don't permit us to go in, that Sevadal of Krishna did not allow anybody to go. But Krishna was there inside. He was in a swing, surrounded by all his 8 wives. He was singing. He saw Kuchela from a distance. He got up, came to the door, main door, hugged Kuchela, kissed his cheeks, watched him staring at him from top to bottom, full of love, and kept his hand on the shoulder of Kuchela, made him to get into the palace, sit on the jhula, swing along with him, made his concerts, wash his feet, and then he started fanning him. Kuchela could not believe all this. Then he fed him personally, fruits and all that. He felt such a beautiful, blissful moment that he forgot to ask him some donation. This is what happens with us in the interview. We write a letter, go there, forget to give him. And the wife will tell you, what about the letter? We'll tell that is there in the pocket. Please check. Because mind is not in your control. It is in his control. So the fellow, then while returning, my wife asked me to ask for money. What will I give her? By the time he comes home, he sees wife well dressed, children with jewels, beautiful palace. Ah, is it my house? Is my wife so beautiful? Are they my children? Then he calls his wife. Without asking, Krishna has given me. Without begging him, Krishna has given me. Darling, let me tell you, if there is any love, it is Krishna. Krishna is love. Love is Krishna. Therefore, Baba says now, Kuchela is the classmate of Krishna. That fellow had no faith. He was feeling a coward. He was feeling timid. But his wife, who never saw Krishna, asked him, go there. He'll give you what you want. That is the woman. Woman never doubts. She has got strong feeling. God will give everything. This fellow being the classmate of God, is he God? Am I a devil? So, man needs more treatment. What? Women, not necessary. Though Swami has not gone to Anantapur, my dear girl, though Swami has not gone to Anantapur, all girls experienced in every room in their hostel, but not in a men's hostel. In other words, boys go to Swami, Swami goes to girls. Sai Ram.
One final question from the audience members.
Sairam, I have a question on Prema Sai. I've just learnt about Baba gave an interview to R.K. Karanjia in the year 1976, where Swami has mentioned about the triple incarnation and in living divinity. But in both the books, I haven't read that actually Baba said so. So could you please explain on Prema Sai Avatar?
Final question is really grand and great. It may be the last, but not the least. Good? The answer is simple, sister. Who is such a Sai? Same Shirdi Sai. Who is Prema Sai? same Satya Sai. If you worship any Sai, Shirdi or Satya, same Sai. So why are you worried about Prem Sai? Same. Whether you eat laddu in Kenya, laddu in Zambia, laddu in Tanzania, laddu is laddu. Understand? Similarly, Sai is saint, but man is a businessman. Swami said that he will take incarnation in Mandya. Some people started donations. Some people started constructing a school. Some fellow says, Swami is born already. He needs a school. I'm constructing a school. To that fellow I say, you need a graveyard. Please construct it. In the West, they make caskets even before. While the fellow is alive, he makes it. But in India, it is inauspicious. They make it a golden casket. It will be buried with gold and silver. So don't worry about Prema Sai. Live in such a Sai. He is Prema Sai, not different. When is he going to come? It is his problem, not my problem and your problem. When he comes back, where is the guarantee you will know him? How many Shirdi Sai devotees do not accept such a Sai? There are many who don't accept. So tomorrow, when Prema Sai comes again, you may not accept him as such a Sai. Where is the guarantee you will see him? Where is the guarantee that you will be near him? Where is the guarantee you will be dear to him? You are not sure. Where is the guarantee that we will live that long as to be identified, picked up? Not certain. My appeal to all of you is forget about Prem Sai. Why same such Sai is going to come again? When that Prem Sai in future himself declares, when he himself manifests, when he himself reveals, when he himself demonstrates, when you yourself is thoroughly convinced, not by commercial, tactic, business, logical, rational, materialistic, physical approach, when you have got intuitive feeling, that's a different thing. For the present, enjoy such a Sai. Love him, sing his glory with prema. That is Prema Sai.
Thank you very much. This concludes today's question and answer session. But for those who have questions, please you can email them to admin@satyasaicenter.org and will be forwarded to Professor at a very later date.
Why don't you clap? She has done a good job. You have done a good job.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your good English
Thank you.
because I'm lover of English literature. You have done a good job. God bless you.
Very much. Thank you. I would like to personally thank you very much for the knowledge and wisdom that you have given us, your time, and also I would love to thank the devotees for their time, their patience, and also for respecting our dear professor. Thank you very much.